24 years. Now that same day when Elizabeth didn't come home at all, not to dinner, not to work, her mother Rosemary started to panic. So she straight up asks Joseph, where the hell is our daughter? And Joseph already had an excuse ready, one that he probably rehearsed a million times in his sick head. He tells her Elizabeth had simply ran away, that she'd gone off and joined some kind of cult. And the sad part is, it actually sounded believable. Because remember, Elizabeth had already tried to run away before. So Rosemary honestly thought maybe this time she finally went through with it. But still, she was a mother at the end of the day. She was still worried, so she filed a missing persons report. But that was a big problem for Joseph. He couldn't have cops doing all this digging. So at some point, he goes down to the basement and forces Elizabeth to write a letter saying that she's tired of the family and doesn't want to be found. Joseph then shows it to Rosemary and the police, and just like that, the search is dropped. And while the whole story is buying his cult story, Elizabeth is chained up to a bed in this pitch black room. And when I say pitch black, I mean it. There were no windows, no sunlight, no way for her to tell if it was morning or night. And the place itself was disgusting. It is freezing cold down there. The walls are damp. And whenever it rained, the water would leak down the walls and she would just wake up completely soaked. And not to mention, the smell was unbearable. There is mold covering the walls. Rats are crawling around everywhere. I mean, it was just disgusting. And she's chained up so tight, she can barely move even a foot. And Joseph, he comes down whenever he feels like it. Sometimes to beat her, to starve her, but mostly to SA her over and over and over again. But here's the part that makes me sick, more than what I already am. Like 6 or 7 months go by and Joseph finally takes the chains off. But not out of mercy or kindness. It was only because they were getting in the way when he was assaulted. Like, what an actual monster. And once the chains were off, things only got worse. He gets her pregnant for a second time, and when she's finally about to give birth, he doesn't even help her. He just hands her an old medical guidebook and says, figure it out yourself. So in 1988, down in that dark, moldy bunker, Elizabeth somehow manages to give birth to her first surviving child, a little girl named Kirsten. And Joseph didn't even come to check on her or the baby for 10 days straight. And I truly don't know how Elizabeth did it, but she managed to keep her baby alive all by herself. But another year later, in 1990, Joseph gets Elizabeth pregnant again. It's actually a boy this time, and she names him Stephen. So now both of these kids remain underground, never leaving those walls, which is just so incredibly sad. Oh my god. But even with all that, Elizabeth is still trying to make the cellar livable for them. She starts decorating the bathroom tiles with little drawings like a yellow snail, a purple octopus, stars, and suns. Things that the children have never seen in real life. She teaches them to read and write. She invents